that you've drawn or you've written the names of all of these subshells, you're going to start drawing arrows through them. So the first arrow comes down through 1s, out the other side. Second arrow comes down through 2s, out the other side.
What are these arrows doing?
What are these doing?
Yeah.
These are going to be the path that you follow to fill subshells. We'll practice, don't worry. The next arrow comes down through 3p, out through 3s. You should be drawing this. The next one comes down through 3p, out through 4s, through 3d, 4p, 5s, 4p, 4d, 5p, 6s. Yeah, I can't either. 4f, 5d, 6p, 7s. 5f, 6d, 7p. 6f, 7d, 7f. Okay, what this tells us is it tells us how much energy these sublevels have and the order in which they fill. So this is called the subshell filling diagram. Okay? Without this, there is no way to remember the order that the subshells fill in. So you're just going to reproduce this diagram again and again and again. Typically, when I'm doing any kind of work in these chapters, I just automatically sketch that on my paper because you always want to have it as a reference. So what this tells us is that the lowest energy level that we can fill, we can put an electron in, is 1s. The next arrow we follow and gives us the next energy level, 2s. The next arrow says 3p has got more energy than 2s. And after 3p, we go to 3s. This is easy. I don't know what the fuss is all about. The next arrow says we go to 3p, and then we fill 4s.
Wait, so 3D has more power?
3d has higher energy than 4s.
What?
So, I'm going to draw you a picture that should help explain this. Do you remember our dorm room, our dorm analogy?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, in our dorm building, it's kind of strange. The floors are slanted. Shoddy construction.
Let's just say there's the stairs.
So no, those are the floors.
Oh.
Trust me, those are the floors. So here we've got 1s. It's on the first floor, it's the lowest energy level possible. Here we have 2s. Here we have 2p, okay, which has more energy than 2s, but they've all got the same amount of energy, because remember, that's a what? Subshell. So we go to the third floor, we have our 3s, we have our 3p, we have our, I didn't even make this floor slanted enough, we have our 3d. And then we have our 4s. So this, move these guys up, is actually slightly lower energy than 3d. Does that make sense? Now, in terms of why it's that way, that's a question that you would have to find a particle physicist to answer for you. That's way beyond my pay grade. But that's in essence how it works. So those floors, those energy levels are in essence sloped. And so, S's are always the lowest energy on their main energy level, but sometimes an S has actually got lower energy than one of the bigger orbitals, one of the bigger subshells on an upper energy level. My advice on this, and I don't usually say things like this, I usually want you to understand the why and really dig in. On this, I'd say, I'd just accept it. I'd just memorize how to draw this and accept it. Yes, sir.
So 4D and 4F have more energy than 5S.
4D is lower energy. Yeah, 4D has more energy than 5S.
And 4F has more
And
energy.
4F has more energy than 5S. 4F also has more energy than 5P.
Oh, jeez.
You know what? Again, I wouldn't dig too deep into this.
It's easier to get to 7P than
6F.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to fill 7P before you fill 6F. Now that said, we don't do a whole lot of atoms that are up into the F's at all. Because by the first F that you would hit would be 4F, and by that time, you've already filled 6S. You know, so we don't really play around with the F orbitals very much. You can see why we don't have to put G on here. You know, we can fill up a pretty big atom with electrons before we have to start using F orbitals. Okay, so it's not that hard. It's just weird. All you have to do is follow the yellow brick road, except these arrows are your yellow brick road. So if you follow those arrows, that's going to tell you the order in which these things fill.
How do you get the atom, or not the atoms,
The number of electrons?
Yeah, the number of electrons.
We're going to get that.
Okay.
We're going to do practice together. We're going to get through the 3 rules, then we're going to practice filling those orbitals.
Okay.
And actually, you already know how to get the number of electrons. You just don't know that you know it.